from the News Channel 5 Network. This is Score on Business.
Hey, welcome to Score on Business. I'm your host. I'm Pete Hendricks, a serial entrepreneur, and your host. Hey, make sure to check out scorenashville.org. We have counselors that will help you. We have classes that are low cost. We have a lot of resources. We want to see entrepreneurs and small businesses succeed. Now, many of you are regular viewers, and you know the quality of guests that we have on here, and today we have a treat. Phil Mitchell purchased an independent hardware store out of bankruptcy almost 30 years ago.
Yes, sir.
And, then the big box retailers came on the scene. The overwhelming majority of independent hardware stores were not able to compete and went out of business. And, we've got like a scant handful left in Metro Nashville. Phil has been able to change strategy, adapt, and succeed, which is a big deal. I'm a customer of Phil's and gladly pay a little more as their knowledge and customer service are excellent. And that is not a paid endorsement, ladies and gentlemen. We don't do those. So, Phil, thank you for being here.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so over the years, your business has transitioned from being primarily a hardware store to primarily a local gun shop. And you did this in response to the big box retailers and doing well. So tell us how you built a niche that allowed you to compete with those large retailers.
Well, it's a hands-on, get dirty situation. You really have to address every customer's needs.
Yeah.
Get to know them, get to know their names on a first-hand basis.
Yeah.
Try your best to provide a good service for them and a good product for them at a reasonable price.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of tough. You deal with different walks of people every day. You're from the poorest man to the richest man, from famous to non-famous. You just kind of treat every person with respect and bring them into the store as best you can and do the best you can for them.
Yeah. Yeah, and it seems that you've really done a great job on the service end of it. I know once people, there's a lot of paperwork to be filled out, and you have the ability to have that where once they fill it out once, it's in your system.
Yes, sir.
And that seems to be very helpful.
Very time, just tears the time all to pieces.
Yeah.
Well, we used to take a long time doing paperwork, just a long length of time, and it was very, guess what you call, hands-on.
Yeah.
Now I can just push your name in. I've got your information.
Yeah.
All I need is a signature and a background check, and you're good to go.
Ready to, yeah. So you've done very well in a very difficult business for 30 years. What advice would you give retail-focused entrepreneurs and small businesses?
Get to know your customer. Definitely get to know your vendors. Never turn your back on any of them. Make sure you keep the lines of communications open, because there's never a chance, or there's never ever not a chance that you can't better what you're doing.
Right.
They're always asking for more information, and your vendors want to sell you product. They want to deal with you. They're just like you. They're in the business to be in business.
Yeah. So how do you, especially in being a small retailer, any vendors are critical, but they're especially critical in retail. Tell us a little bit about, working with them in good times and bad. And
good times is always good times.
Yeah.
Bad times, if you're having a situation where you're having a tough time paying your bills, speak to them, talk to them, make arrangements. Work the trade shows with your vendors. You can find more deals at trade shows than you ever will out of a catalog in your store.
Okay. So, to kind of expand on that, so apparently there are trade shows for you to go to.
Oh, yes, sir.
And when you go there, it sounds like they have special deals there sometimes.
Always special deals. We book a year in advance on our product.
Yeah.
And you get special pricing.
Yeah.
Special terms. You may not have to pay for things for 6 months at a time.
Yeah.
That's the best time to be there, is the trade shows.
Okay.
And you can buy samples a lot of times.
Right.
And get those at a very good discounted rate.
Okay. Now, what about as far as your vendors for knowledge? Like, for example, what's going to be hot? Or whatever type of knowledge they may share.
Well, they're your only line of defense. They
Yeah.
really are. You've got to listen to your vendors. They know what every other store nationwide is doing, so they can tell you what's hot, what's not.
Right.
The numbers always tell the truth.
Yeah. 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 You certainly don't want to be stuck with inventory that's
Correct.
not going to move.
Yeah.
Is there a possibility for you to have product in your store? Do you have to buy it, or can you get it like on consignment?
No, we have to buy everything.
You have to buy everything.
Yes.
Okay. Now, one thing you've done really well is know your customers. And how did you do that? How do you, so over 30 years, a lot has changed. And tell us about staying in touch with your customers and understanding what's important to them and how you do that. And
I treat them like my neighbor.
yeah,
You know, I don't try to tell them what they need. I ask
Yeah.
them what they want, and then try to give them what they need in the
Yeah.
proper perspective.
you know, the question, asking people what's important to them is so critical, and it doesn't happen enough.
Right, it doesn't. A lot of people don't realize that you should treat them like your neighbor. Treat them like the regular Joe that comes
Yeah.
in off the street, and just
Yeah.
say, look, what do you need? What can
Yeah.
I help you with today?
Yeah. Yeah. And then also, you have a lot of knowledge, I've noticed. So when people are coming in for hardware, you know, it's like the old hardware store where you went in and someone could tell you how to do it. And then as well on the firearms side, I see you share a lot of valuable information with people that helps them make good decisions. Can you talk a little bit about that?
We try our best. Of course,
Yeah.
28 years of fixing everybody else's problems sure helps.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, we're 1 minute we're working on somebody's dirty plumbing, next minute I'm helping somebody with a $1,000 shotgun.
Yeah.
You know, so just like with your firearms, I
Yeah.
understand you're a Springfield fan.
Yeah. I am a Springfield fan.
And
Yeah.
good guns.
Yeah.
You just got to know the guys, and
Yeah.
and especially the ladies that come in. You
Yeah.
want to try to deal with them in a perspective that they know what the gun's going to do,
Right.
and you don't want to scare them.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want to scare anybody. You want to say,
Right.
hey, look, this is what it's going to do. This is what we recommend. This is what we don't recommend.
Yeah. So you are the firearms portion of your business is very heavily regulated by the government. Talk to us about keeping out of trouble with.
It's cookie cutter pretty much.
Yeah.
There's lines you can follow, and then there's things you can't do. We have people come in all the time that aren't allowed to buy firearms, and they make the attempt.
Yeah.
The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation's background check catches them all.
Yeah.
You know, we really just kind of follow the letter of the law.
And what I have noticed with you all, for once you get in a system, you don't have to fill out paperwork. But that paperwork, if it's not right, you get folks to do it again.
Oh, yes.
I mean,
Yes.
so what I kind of notice is a tremendous amount of detail.
Yes, sir. It's again, it's pretty cookie cutter
Yeah.
to that point, but it's all about the information. We always ask what the current information is
Yeah.
for the customer, and just make sure that their paperwork's properly signed,
Yeah.
properly dated, and they get a good background check.
Well, there is another local gun shop that can't sell guns anymore.
Oh, there's several, I'm sure.
Yeah, because that paperwork is a big deal. I don't know if they do audits or what they do.
They do.
Yeah,
Yeah, the ATF comes in on occasion, and it's pretty much a surprise inspection.
right.
Gosh, if they told you they were coming, you could.
Yeah, well, you know.
You could try to hide
Yeah.
anything you wanted to, but there's really nothing to hide if you've got
Yeah.
your record straight.
So what do you do to make sure that what I'm trying to do is get you to share some best practices for other businesses that are.
It's all about the details.
Yeah.
Always all about the details. The ATF and the firearms industry there's only one way to do it, and that's the right way.
Yeah.
And if it's not done correctly, then you do it over, as you said earlier. Anybody can make a mistake. It's very simple.
Yeah.
The ATF really doesn't wear you out on very simple things.
Yeah.
But if you're making a big mistake, you're going to get nailed.
Yeah. Okay, well, Phil, thanks so much for being here today.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back. Remember, scorenashville.org.